Hey y'all, my name is Annie. Welcome to my channel, Eat, Drink, and Be Reading. And today I'm going to talk about some of my favorite kids' audiobooks. Okay, so I know not everyone who watches these videos has kids, but I think most of us know kids or know people who have kids. And these are some great suggestions for audiobooks for their kids to listen to. My kids probably listen to 4 hours of audiobooks a day. They will literally have the audiobook playing while they're painting or drawing or playing with Legos. Breakfast if we're not all sitting together, or lunch if we're not together. They constantly have on an audiobook. We listen to them in the car. I mean, they've listened to some of these books 10 times over and over again. These are my favorites. Maybe another time I'll do their favorites because some of them overlap, but some of them definitely do not. But I do think a lot of these, almost all of these, are actually fun to listen to as an adult as well. So if you're looking for a short read, a light read, something just fun to listen to, these are some great choices even for adults. So let's get started. Number 1 is How to Train Your Dragon by Cressida Cowell. Most people have heard of this because of the movies. The book is a recent purchase of ours, and the narrator is David Tennant of Doctor Who fame. He is fantastic. I just adore the accents that he does in this book. If your kid has a hard time understanding accents, this may not be a top choice, but as an adult, I loved it, and I loved listening to what David Tennant did. It made me feel like I was there in a way that I don't think I would have gotten from just reading the physical copy of the book. Number 2 is Mrs. Pickle Wiggle by Betty MacDonald. This is one I probably would recommend more for kids than for adults. I don't know if you remember Mrs. Pickle Wiggle. It is an older series of books where Mrs. Pickle Wiggle helps neighborhood children be cured of slow eater, tiny bite takeritis, or sticky fingers cure, or won't go to bed ism or something. I can't remember, but these funny things and the way that she helps these families cure the kids is hilarious. And as an adult, I think it's really funny to listen to her strategies. But my kids also think it's really funny too. You just have to listen to the full chapters so that your kids don't think, oh, what they're doing is okay. You have to get to the point where the kid changes at the end of the chapter. My kids have now listened to them 5 or 6 times, so we're good. And that's narrated by Karen White. All of the Mrs. Pickle Wiggle series are, my personal favorite is the first one. And it's just plain old Mrs. Pickle Wiggle. Number 3, this might be my favorite on the list, and that is The Wonderful Wizard of Oz by Frank Baum. Audible has a version where the narrator is Anne Hathaway. I am not a huge Anne Hathaway fan. I mean, Princess Diaries forever and always, but otherwise I just don't love her. But she is perfect for this. She does a cowardly lion voice that just is wonderful. She does all the voices. It's so fun. My kids love it. I loved listening to it. It's always if I get a say in what book they're listening to, I'm always like, The Wizard of Oz, The Wizard of Oz. Because I don't mind hearing it over and over again. Again, this is just an Audible version. I highly recommend just the book in general, but the Anne Hathaway version I think is only on Audible. I would prefer Libro FM or some other things, but just the options Audible has for kids, and because we've been using Audible for years before Libro FM had many kid options, it's kind of what works for our family. And there are a few of these that will be Audible only options. But The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, narrated by Anne Hathaway, is so much fun and definitely something an adult could listen to and enjoy all by themselves. 4 is Ramona Quimby by Beverly Cleary. This is, and it's like all of the Ramona books. We have like a collection of them, and it's all in one. It's narrated by Stockard Channing of Grease fame, Rizzo, on Grease, and she is wonderful. I just laugh at this book. Now I don't, because I think that I have listened to this collection 6 or 7 times at least, and it kind of drives me bonkers now. But the story itself of this little precocious 5-year-old, and then each book is like a year, like kindergarten, 1st grade, 2nd grade, 3rd grade. She is precocious, she is hilarious, and I love just the way that Beverly Cleary gets into the mind of a kid. My favorite part, one of the favorite parts, is in kindergarten. The first day of kindergarten, they read Mike Mulligan and his steam shovel, which is where he is stuck all day trying to build something or dig something out, and he never leaves. And Ramona asks the teacher the question, like, where does he go to the bathroom? And the whole class wants to know, where does he go to the bathroom? And the teacher's like, well, if they didn't tell us where he goes to the bathroom, it's not important, like, to the story. And Ramona's like, that's ridiculous. Everyone in this classroom knows one of the most important things to know is how to go to the bathroom and where to go to the bathroom. But just her ability, Beverly Cleary's ability to become, like, get into the mind of a kid, and Stockard Channing's ability to really relate that is wonderful. All right, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the Roald Dahl collection. This one includes Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, James the Giant Peach, Fantastic Mr. Fox, Enormous Crocodile, and maybe one more about, like, Magic Finger maybe. And it's narrated by Roald Dahl himself. And so it is really fun. I love that he narrates it. There's a couple moments that are a little bit older for my kids. I have a 2, 4, and 6-year-olds, but they still really like it, especially the Enormous Crocodile. So if you are a Roald Dahl fan as a kid, you can get your kids started even sooner with the audiobook. And if you are a Roald Dahl fan as a kid, you can listen to it yourself and it feel like a new experience since it's on audio. The next one is Foreverywhere by Steve Burns and Company. Steve Burns is the Steve of Blue's Clues fame. Foreverywhere is an Audible original. It's about a unicorn, the daughter of the sun and the rain, Princess Rainbow, and a giant that form a band. And it is just sweet and fun, and my kids love the different magical creatures. It's narrated by Steve Burns and a few other people, and he's just excellent. Like, this is totally right up his alley. It's so well done, and my kids just have a ball with it, and it's something totally new and original, and so I don't mind listening to it either. And actually, if you read the comments, there's a bunch that say, like, I'm an adult and I listened to this and I loved it. So that one is definitely Foreverywhere, is definitely for everyone. Next is Anna Hibiscus by Atanuke. This is narrated by Mutiat Ade Salou. I do not know if I said those names correctly. I had not heard of Anna Hibiscus, but it is the story of this little girl in Africa and her family, and like, one of the stories, she gets to go visit her grandparents. I think it's one of her parents is from Canada, and the grandparents are still there, and she gets to go visit to Canada, and she's never seen snow and doesn't know how to do any of it. And the narrator uses this beautiful, like, African English voice that is just gorgeous, and I love that my kids are hearing it. And it is just fun. It's nothing very exciting or outrageous. It's just kind of her life, but I love that it takes place in somewhere else, and they get to experience Africa and Canada, and listen to a narrator that sounds different than we do. Okay, then last 2 are Audible originals. The next one is perfect for little ones, like 2 and 3 and 4-year-olds. My 2-year-old especially loves this. It's Laurie Berkner's Song and Story Kitchen. She sings songs, she tells stories. There's 10 of them in the collection, and they're all like 15 minutes long. But within the story, there's songs, and so we sing the songs all the time. And the stories are fun. It's about, like, this magical land, juniper fields, where the flowers send messages, and there's a dinosaur and a bumblebee and a mouse and ferrets that are all best friends and help each other and build houses. Like there's a mouse who's a builder. The bee loves spelling and reading. The dinosaur loves to play music. It's just so fun, and my kids would listen to it for hours. And last but not least is Who in the World is Carmen Sandiego by Rebecca Tinker. This is narrated by Kyla Garcia. This is like based on the new Netflix series Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego, or Carmen Sandiego, which is based on Carmen Sandiego from way back. But this is like the origin story, and my husband and I were hooked the first time we listened to it. We started it in the car, and the girls wanted to listen to it by themselves at home, and we were like, no, like we do this as a family because we want to know what happens. We're fascinated, and we were hooked on the story as well. It is a story of like teenage Carmen Sandiego growing up on an island where a school for thieves is, and where she learns to be a thief. And it also fast forwards, what's that word? Oh my gosh. Anyway, goes into the future and back and forth, two kind of timelines of her as this well-known worldwide thief, and then where does she start from, and who are her friends, and what does that become, and how does she become who she is. It's a blast. My kids love it, even though it feels like it should be too old for them. It's really not. There's very little violence. There's no language. So it works really well for them and was a super entertaining story for us as adults. Guys, I hope this gives you some new ideas. I could talk all day about kids' books and kids' audiobooks because they are just huge in our household. But I've also learned from listening to them that there are some out there that are really well written and well done that adults can enjoy too. I think it's C.S. Lewis that says something about a book written for kids that can't be enjoyed by adults is not actually a good book for kids. And these are all really excellent choices for both. Guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. What are some of your favorite audiobooks in general? Kids audiobooks? Let me know in the comments below. You guys are awesome.